Well, hello there. Welcome along to episode 11 of Beldania. Today I have playing with me Josh.
I'm Josh. Today I'll be playing Sebastian Belmont, who is a human now turned cat abjuration wizard.
I have Rika.
Hi, I'm Rico, and I'll be playing Torin Goldenbrand, the Dragonborn Paladin, Minor Noble.
I have Joe.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Joe. I'm playing Hennick Littlefield, the halfling farmer and bard.
I have Jamal. Thought I had Jamal.
Oh,
He
sorry,
did, but I
Josh,
killed
distracted
him.
me. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. Jamal here. Bad start, I know. I'm playing Chiavo, Leonin, Order of the Scribes Wizard.
I have Bruno.
Hello, I'm playing Natasha Ayelet, your on-duty safeguarding officer who's playing a life cleric.
On that note, as we return to the town of Harbonden, I'd like to reflect. Come on, music. There we go.
Oh, the music was good.
Yes, but
Aw.
not suited to a conversation.
True.
I'd like you all to reflect. I'm going to come first to Rico, player, to Rico, the character.
Hello.
And I'm going to say, what one thing do you like about the progression of Oren's?
Good question. I like the fact that, I always obviously Torin is an only child, and it's kind of like this somewhat of a little brat, spoiled brat growing up. So I do like the fact that he's sort of found this makeshift family that he's grown to respect and sort of care about, beyond his own family. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's an interesting. Yeah, I like that.
To Sebastian, to Josh. What's been your favorite spell you've learned so far?
Barely lent any. I guess like one that I didn't start off with.
Well, yes, I assume.
Okay, I started off with a taxi, didn't I?
Yes, I think that's Sebastian's trademark.
Yeah. Then I guess absorption shield. I've used that a lot. It's come in handy a lot. So yeah, I guess probably that.
And what do you like about the way, not necessarily progress, but the way he's come through at this campaign? What do you like most about his?
I just like. I guess because I play a lot of characters that are very confrontational. It's very nice to play someone who really isn't. And yeah, it's nice. It's fun to play someone who as we saw when we went to the museum and stuff, has a bit of an ego about himself and wouldn't use it to bring others down or anything like that, but quite likes this kind of celebrity thing. I don't know if I'm describing it very well.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Celebrity thing. I agree. Jamal,
Mhm.
what have you enjoyed most so far about Chiavo, playing Chiavo?
The world, despite being someone who's learning more about magic, just feels more and more fucking terrifying, really. I mean, we've kind of been put through the ringer in this world, and
Yeah, I mean, I guess
it's only
I
just
more mean,
beginning.
what about Chiavo is not necessarily what about the
Yeah,
world in
I
which
get
you
what you
play
mean now,
Chiavo.
yeah. I think the most enjoyable thing about Chiavo is not as much Chiavo himself, but more so just the way Chiavo sort of. It feels slower to develop Chiavo than it does to develop, say, some of the other characters that we've had. Everyone else has felt like they've, other campaigns have charged through and things have been at a really hectic pace, and it's been extremely rapid. And meanwhile, it's just it's been 11 episodes in, and I still feel like a fairly incompetent spellcaster.
You are.
I don't have enough spells to fucking mix it, and I've got a spell that I really want to use and I really like the look of, and I still can't fucking use it yet. So, you know.
Good. Good. I'm glad. Brilliant. Nikolai, before I ask you for your opinions, I'd like to just take this moment to recall a particular line which I got it written down somewhere. I was literally about to come to it. Right, I'll come to you first. First of all, what have you enjoyed most about Hennick, about playing Hennick?
I think that that like the personality and beliefs that I gave him are able to come up a lot. Like I'm frequently able to sort of go like, oh, in this situation, he would say it's not about him. Like if you were asking me, like, what is the greatest thing about Hennick? Hennick would answer, well, it's not about me, it's about other people. Like I can sort of find a touchstone for that in a lot of scenes. So it's better than sort of sometimes you write like a cool personality trait and like the first session you're like, yeah, my guy said he cares about that thing. And then what, are you just gonna say that every single time, you know? But this has been one that's been pretty flexible, so I've enjoyed that.
The line I was looking to recall was the mountains where the snow falls twice, with barbarians who dress like it's paradise was my particular favorite line from last week. I wondered if you had a favorite Hennickism, if you like, a Hennick lyric.
Yeah. I mean the snow falls twice was my most silly lyric one, like that I did think was pretty good. But I think let's see, I do like the sort of more complicated, quick little runs of words. Where were some here? Oh, let's see here.
We had one where you rhymed satisfactory with the manufactory.
Yes,
That was
right.
my
That's
favorite.
the one. The rhythm
I
of
have a
that
favorite
one I
one
like the most.
I have
Oh,
a
do
favorite
you?
if I may interject. I can't remember the entire line, but I thought it was genius that he rhymed Sandringham with understanding him.
Yes, yes. That was the song in which that was actually my favorite moment of the campaign so far, and the reason I wanted to call this back was when I think it was. Sorry if I'm wrong, and it was something. Whistled the tune to the Sandringham song by Hennick to keep people in line in the dark. I think that was Bruno. And it was just such a wonderful image of the way these group had bonded. And to me, yeah, that really sold it. Did you find your line, Joe?
Yeah, so it is from the one with the satisfactory and manufactory one, but it's so we had been fighting the bandits in that episode, and like the guy who we were helping that was the merchant, and he was also all fanciful, but then like the lead bandit guy was like dressed real fancy, and Torin got his smite, I think, at that point. And so the line was, victim and miscreant both in their finery, radiance heaven sent tore one apart. So I liked miscreant and heaven sent.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh yeah, I think that's my favorite part of Hennick is that you have somehow managed to incorporate telling our story. Like a lot of people use a bard to write lyrics and songs and things that are, you know, that they want to write about and that they want to sing about. But the fact that you've used that bardery to tell the story of the campaign that we're playing in, and almost like recaps, has just been absolutely delicious to enjoy.
Glad it's enjoyed.
And finally, I'll come to my inspiration for this discussion. As the last time, or the first time, we approached Harbonden, out of session, I'm going to call you out here. Out of session, Bruno came to me telling me that he hated Natasha. I'd like to know, first of all, please tell me that's changed. We're on episode 11.
I'm going to...
How do you feel about Natasha now, and what do you like about them?
So I still hate her.
Oh no.
I joke. I think from the beginning, I always wanted to play Natasha as a frontliner, because I always feel like people just see clerics as like, yeah, they need to stay in the back line and heal, and that's all clerics are meant to do. So I always love going against the status quo. And I think over the last few sessions, especially like with absorbing ward that she learned and all these little self-sustained spells, she's really been able to shine a little bit more as a frontliner, which I like. But she also has a very she's also gained a lot of versatility when it comes to choosing to stay behind and like playing smart tactics. Like last session when we were fighting, I think the orcs, and Torin was in the middle of them, and I was able to like kind of plan the combat around that. So yeah, because for me, I know D&D is like a role-playing game, but my favorite part is combat, and I love being strategic when it comes to combat. That's why I always play very combat-faced classes. So yeah, Natasha's like slowly becoming who I want her to be, which is nice. I think she's still very far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the point of the campaign also. Anyways. So yeah.
And in the nice way possible. I
that
think
makes
she had the
sense.
furthest to go.
Mm.
You know, she came from such not only in terms of, you know, fighting. Natasha was the one who, of course, began with the frying pan. But more to the point, she started as such a little creep. By slowly seeing her step up in some places, and that to me is beautiful. I know this is a strange way to start a campaign episode, but I thought it would be nice to have a little reflect as the party return to not necessarily their home, because they're not returning to Stanford. They're instead returning to Harbonden. Harbonden was the big city near where we started. And also it shows us going full circle to where you went to request help and returning back. So as the group descend from the mountains and arrive at Harbonden, it's approximately 6:30 in the evening. Do we want to do anything this eve? Or where would you like to head to bed? Are we looking for an inn or
What time is it right about now?
6:30 in the evening?
Right. A little bit late to go shopping emergency, but
Oh, very
I
much.
can do it in the morning.
I would like to find out if indeed the cart and black radish were delivered here, or if they're still back in Sandringham. So I don't know if I would check with either the Dawn Guard people who had or the scout people that we've been talking to, or maybe they sent it with the green ponies. I don't know.
So the you probably gather that the best place to ask is the stables.
Yeah.
So as we head up to the main gate of the city of Harbonden, you see two guards standing outside with beers at the ready. And you see that they recognize you all, mostly because of Sebastian. But nevertheless, they still, papers, please. Sebastian, you recognize this to be a guard you once meowed at.
Oh, so good.
What do we know his name?
Ask if you like.
Might as well call him Meow at this point.
I know his name.
Who's holding our papers?
Each one of you will have your own.
Okay.
Pop up and show them your paper. Basically, that's all they're asking, but I didn't know if Henrik wished to ask of any.
Yeah. Well, I suppose. Oh, well, hello there. We're just coming from a trip through the mountains, and well, our cart and my pony were delivered separately. I thought maybe someone here might know if they were brought to the stables or something like that.
Sorry to turn you around, but the pony was rather stubborn. Without you, it's
fair enough.
being looked after by the Grinning Ponies. The Grinning Ponies are a halfling group that you would know of that raise ponies. And he's being looked after there. I believe he arrived safely with cart.
Oh, that is good to know, and thank you very much for the information. I'm gonna head right over there, folks. I think that's back over this way, and at least check in on him, make sure he's all right.
I think the group would go with you, no?
Yeah.
Say,
I want to get my dog.
So as we sort of wander over to the Grinning Ponies, the markets are just... Go on, Bastion.
I want to I guess Hennik's my height, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I just want to whisper to Hennik, ask for that guard's name.
Thank you so much for that information. Can I get your name, sir?
What? Yeah. My name's Bryson.
Bryson. Well,
I've actually. You see that he's meant to give his title, but he kind of doesn't want to. Actually, Bryson Captain. Not now. That's specific.
Oh.
Traditions.
I appreciate your humility and not leading with your position and title, but you seem to be doing a fine job, so I suppose you deserve it.
Nice. Congratulations, young man.
Well, perhaps. Fortunately, the previous captain sent a order. Troubles on it. Far better. Last some might take
Yeah, so we've heard.
care for my. I hope that your pony as well. Go ahead.
Is there a bush or a hedge nearby?
No. On a bridge? I mean, look at the map, yeah? It's you crossed over a bridge to a city wall.
Say that before we got there, I picked something up.
Sure.
Great. Thank you. So, I'm gonna have my back turned towards the guards.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pull out 3 leaves. And, Sebastian's eyes will, dilate. And as he, motions his paw over the 3 leaves, they turn into 3 daggers. And I'm gonna walk up to Bryson. I'm gonna look up at him and, put them up.
Yeah. He sort of looks at you distrustingly, knowing that you like a trick. Nevertheless, he will take them.
I'll just look up at him. Meow. And then as I walk away, just as we're getting pretty far away, I'm gonna turn around. Bye, Bryson.
He rolls his eyes and he starts telling his companion guard animatedly about the first time he met you.
A minute later, those daggers will turn back to leaves.
I'm well aware. I'd say really cool. It's a really cool color, so I like that you managed to find, even if it's just annoying my city guard. Nevertheless, the best bit about it is in about 12 minutes you're gonna have to head back there to get through the door. But as you head over to the Grinning Ponies, you see that although the majority of the market stalls are packing up, the Grinning Ponies don't appear to be packing up at all. In fact, they're quite active. There's 3 or 4 halflings wandering around the yard, doing various different duties, refilling the hay, etc. And as you head on over, they give you a little wave. They're not racist as such, but they definitely will pay more attention to Hennick than they will to the rest of you. Just a familiarity thing. And as they come over, welcome, cousin.
Howdy. Good to see you. Meet you there. I'm looking for a rather stubborn black donkey you might have around this place.
I believe they said his name was Black Radish.
Indeed, it is.
Would that mean that I have the pleasure of addressing Hennick Littlefield?
You do indeed. Yeah.
Hey, you'll have the pleasure of addressing Chikaro of the Grinning Ponies.
Chikaro, good to meet you.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. The pony's doing well. Doesn't like the city much, though.
Yeah, I can't say I blame him, although it's turned out to be better than I thought in the past.
Big fan of turnips, this one. And he will sort of go and de-rein Black Radish from where he's ranged to one of the fences, to one of the picket posts. This is within a large sort of fenced off area, so Black Radish has had quite a large amount of space to run free, and as he is bringing over Black Radish to you, you hear a mad barking as this slightly still ear-bitten dog that has somewhat been replenished and looked after by Natasha, but is still definitely got his roots as a city mongrel, comes speeding across the grass near bowling Natasha over. And then he sort of turns his head up and starts panting at you.
Oh.
Tasha, do you have any words for dear Scab, or are you just going to look at him like an idiot?
Yes, I'm going to look at him like an idiot, James. I'm gonna stare like,
That's the look you were giving me.
why is this dark here? I'll pat his head.
Okay.
Good boy. Good boy.
Yeah, he starts leaping up and barking around you. Quite
Aw.
intimidatingly for Sebastian and Henrik, as that he's leaping quite a large height above their head. Nevertheless,
It's okay, Scab. We're not gonna eat the halfling or the cat, are we? We're not going to eat them. Does he respond?
He's just sort of stops jumping a little bit and starts licking
Good
at you.
boy. Good boy.
And Chikaro turns around and tell you what, the donkey was easy. That dog is wonderful. Seems to be loyal enough, waiting patiently. Hope your trip went well.
Do we have Satan with us, or?
Yes, the goat
Okay.
walks the whole way through the mountains with.
Satan, the hero, the legend.
The legend.
Nevertheless, you may take Black Radish to the city stables yourself, or you may leave him stable with the grinning ponies overnight.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll just say to this Chikara fella, well, it seems like you've all taken fine care of him. I suppose it's just as well to leave him with you for another day or so while we do things in town, if it's...
Indeed, why take him
suitable.
anywhere else when his lodging here has been paid for? We're paid quite generously to hold on to him as long as is necessary, we were told.
Oh, interesting.
So, keep good care of him, and as soon as you're ready, waiting for you.
And the cart here with him someplace?
Yes, the card is, well, it's in one of our lock houses. So as you look over to the side, you see that there is what appears to be a very large barn, huge entrance. You would assume that that's where people's carts and wagons are locked up and kept. And that also will be available to you.
Yeah, great. We won't trouble you too often, but we may need to take things in and out of the cart now and then. Anybody who's carrying some of that crap for me, if you wanted to put it down, I don't know if we need a shovel in town, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
And with that,
All right, Radish.
with that, at this probably be about 7:30 in the evening. Do we want to head into the city for any particular reason? Do we want to make acquaintance immediately with the Duke, or do you wish to spend the night in the Silver Knight Tavern outside the city?
I personally would like to stay in the Silver Knight Tavern. I think going into the city at this point is a little bit senseless. Also, I forgot one
Depends how
other thing.
important you think the news is.
Well,
But anyway,
yeah.
what was your one other thing?
Well, actually, two other things now that you said about the news. It's not like they're going to rush to do anything about it, is it? It's not like as if they're going to immediately start mobilizing things before it's even morning to deal with it.
Sure.
But the other thing, then, real quick, one thing I did forget to do at the end of last session, which I'm going to test your memory on here. You remember you were telling me about Melf's Acid Arrow, you said it was a different material component. Do you remember what that component listed was? Because I didn't catch it.
Yes, but no. I will tell you in a moment.
Sure.
Okay. But in the meantime, before we head through, Sebastian, do I assume that you want...
Yeah, since we're here, I'd like to stop by Furlocks.
Okay. You approach the shack. The door is closed.
I'll knock. I'll rap on the door a couple of times.
A few moments later, the door opens and a familiar orangutan in place. He takes a deep bow. I apologize, Master Belmont, but Belloc is out of town at the moment.
Where did he go?
I believe he went to the crossroads to consult with Lady Agra.
The Lady Agra.
Do you know when he'll be back?
I apologize, Master Belmont, but I don't think he intends to return anytime soon.
Oh.
Do you know why he's gone?
Something about creating something at the border. He was investigating large-scale illusions, turn back enemies, half of the Jews.
Okay, well, if he comes back, just let him know I came to see him.
No problem. Ada's stomach.
Adder's stomach. That's so it's not. So we don't have the powdered rhubarb leaf on it then.
No. Ah! Sorry, I've accidentally zoomed in on Rico's face. It's alright, I fixed it. You were suddenly on every camera. Yes, so
I'm
at
a
this,
star.
Hennick and Torin, would either of you like to go immediately into the city?
I imagine Torrens' business can wait for the morning. I think he's a little more interested in getting some like lodgings and food for the evening.
Yeah, I think we're both delivering information, but also gathering a little. I think it might be to our benefit to just sort of listen around town for a little while before we're meeting with the big higher up folk.
Very well.
Yes, indeed. Perhaps we could visit my uncle Yorkrath at the Silver Sword. The old man seems to know more than he gives out.
Yeah, let's have a listen to any sort of commotion in the tavern tonight, and then maybe even make a few stops in the morning before we head to the Duke.
Perhaps make a little commotion ourselves.
Yeah, perhaps.
What about Natasha? Would Natasha just sort of follow on, or is she going to...
we ordered food last night.
I want to go to the temple because last time I was here, I sent a bandit there, so I want to check if they're still working there.
Yep, and it's currently 6:30 in the evening, so you'll be there just in time for the evening meal being given out. Obviously not to eat it, but it's being given out to the homeless and stuff. I mean, you can turn up and eat it if you like, but it would probably be seen as a little bit cheeky. Nevertheless,
I mean, our homes were burnt down.
So I think at that point, perhaps we'll send the rest of the group to the inn to secure lodgings, and perhaps secure a lodging for Natasha as well. Natasha, however, you head over to the Temple of the Thunder, and you see Penelope hard at work, as per usual, handing out meals and such. As she sees you, hi Natasha, and carries on with doing. A couple of minutes later, she will hand you some bowls, the expectation that you will continue. Eventually, after sort of 20 minutes to half an hour passes, the line finally comes to an end. Turns to you. Looking healthy.
What?
I'm surprised you still remember my name, Penelope.
Well, like, oh,
Job to remember anybody who comes in.
I've recently sent a lost man here. He was looking for some change of life, to say. Has he come?
do it.
We have had a few people come recently. Any details about him?
He
You can
used
just...
to be a bandit.
Oh, okay, that works too. But I was going to say you can just give a description, despite the fact that I haven't given
Right,
you one.
so
Yeah. So when you say this, and
He's tall, blonde,
I'm gonna expend one
blue
round.
eyes,
Is
lots
he?
of muscles.
lovely, El Hunko Bandit. Yeah. He did come to us originally, though he wasn't of the most charitable nature. He's giving penance at the Temple of... So he's been passed on to a different temple, perhaps because it aligned better with his beliefs, perhaps because... At the Temple of Saloon, they do something called chastisement, where they sort of... they share all their sins with and the priest in return will decide their due. Tell them find their way back in God's way.
Well then, Penelope, if you'll
I'm
allow
going
me,
to
I would
attack
love to
both
visit
of these
him.
boys
So,
with,
unless you
1-1, so
need
it's plus-
anything else from me
it's
at this
5,
time,
6
I will be
damage.
taking my leave.
And you, of course, would know where the Temple of Isildown. And I will speed this up a little bit because visiting him isn't going to be available. You'll find out that his penitence is to visit the homes of those torn by bandits, under the supervision of a young priest. named Jaskon. Jaskon. He is. Have I doubled up on a name there?
No, just name the bard from The Witcher. Yasker.
Oh yeah, sort of like Yaska, but yeah, no, Jaskon. And he is going to be guiding our friend the bandit to various different villages that have been struck by bandit raids, to help replenish their houses and see the damage of his he was doing. But they will wish you well and thank you for your deliverance of a man who wants to become better. Is there anywhere else, Natasha?
Do you know when he'll be back?
He's due back in 8 days.
Yeah.
Very well then. I shall wait here for 8 days. And I'll go to the inn.
Okay, right, good.
Yeah, no, like, imagine me outside of the temple, like...
So as you head to the inn, we shall return to them. And as soon as you enter, you notice that this is different. The inn is quieter than usual. There are less travelers on the and those who you do see tend to be of more martial air. When you head up to the inn, excuse me. When you head up to the front of the inn, you are able to speak to Jorkan. Jorkan is the owner of the Silver Knight Tavern. Looks at you and, well, hi there. How might I help?
Yeah, I think we're looking for a little evening repast and a lodging for the night, if you could, for us and one additional friend.
I certainly don't have any individual rooms for you, though. I do have a large bunkhouse back. In it right now. I'm afraid that we have a lot of people staying who are headed to the front lines.
Right. Well, we're sort of, in a way, coming from them ourselves. Not the same quite location I expect these folks are going to, but yeah, I mean, we're not above it, but I suppose it's worth asking whether you think any of the other places in the city proper would have more space, or are they all similarly overrun?
I believe the reason we are overrun is because in response to the travel of soldiers, finds the inns in the cities have raised their price quite.
Oh,
of
isn't that
course.
just opportunistic?
But where I say it, I believe you'll be getting robbed. Our prices haven't changed, and he makes that very clear.
Sebastian, do you think it's worth going back and asking that monkey fellow whether we can just stay in Furlock's front room or something like that?
Out of character, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Nice.
Yeah, we can try.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
You would know that there is enough space in Furlock's tower to sleep 25, but not that many beds. But you're more than welcome to over there. But in the meantime, you've done that to me there. Jorkan will offer you a hearty meal, and he will charge 5 copper shards for that. Yeah, we'll keep it at 5. He was meant to charge you 6 back for dinner. Regardless, he'll give you a hearty meal. There's a sort of beef stew going on, with various breads and vegetables available, and he'll give you this with a hearty drink of ale or wine. As you take your seats in the tavern, you hear a bard striking up a tune. And he begins to tell them of old, where the Yuanti were put in their place. They were returned to their homeland, held there. It speaks of the Yuanti as savages, almost as beasts. Lizard folk as well. Many soldiers are raising a glass. Hear this? Not sure Henrik would necessarily say something, or maybe he would. Surely you all feeling a respect.
I mean, I imagine Torin is probably sitting there with sort of a disconcerting look, hand on his ale, staring around at his companions. Maybe shaking his head a little bit, but I think he'll stay silent for the time being.
Yeah, we have a different perspective on this, don't we, folks?
I'd say so, Henrik.
Yeah, definitely.
The
I mean, I suppose ours is not the only experience, but
well, I've heard my father tell me that there is nothing to fear but fear itself. Perhaps these people just are ignorant of the nature of the Yonti.
can't say as I knew much about him myself until a few days ago. But
Yeah, that's fair. Before the other day, I had never met one in the flesh. Only heard stories similar to the ones this bard tells before us.
Can't help but hear the line, smash the eggs before they're born, kill the monsters in the dawn. May take
I'm
note of
gonna
it.
like not subtly, but like just a little bit like wave my staff, and I'm gonna create a barrier around our table so that sound can't pass through.
Can I stand up?
Oh, I
please?
didn't think that was it.
Yeah, of course you can.
I thought that was.
I want to approach the bard like in a subtle way, like just. Is he like taking a break from
Okay.
performing?
Yeah, once he gets to the end of his song, you're welcome to it.
Okay.
Okay.
He sort of gives you a tip of his hat and good day, Moras.
Yeah.
I just want you to know your stories aren't accurate.
Oh, it's almost
Oh,
getting a bit low, isn't it?
Yeah, I've met you, Auntie, and
That's the end
what
of
you
it,
said
yeah.
isn't true. They're not like you describe them. They're normal people just like us.
one's on the borders then. I'm back from a tour of the borders.
No, you're wrong.
Monstrous.
Those are
Seems-
exactly the people I've met.
And you saw them sneaking into camps to poison the wells. Spray water that our friends and family were drinking from.
You saw people at war. Have you heard the news of the young Guanti messenger that got shot when he approached Harbonden?
Well, it's no surprise given how they've treated our envoys of peace.
Well, clearly it's a war, so
What?
it's not really fair that you're demonizing an entire race of people just because some have responded to the actions that we've output. Is it truly fair to judge an entire kind just because of the one small scope that you have witnessed?
I don't know, you tell me, you seem to be doing so.
On
Save
the
they're normal
contrary.
people, whereas what I have witnessed is savages.
On the contrary, I am giving them all the benefit of the doubt and I am not judging them by one simple action.
Say that I'm judging them by many, many actions. Besides, these songs pay.
Well, clearly we have different concepts of morality because I don't believe in slandering in exchange for coin. Have a good day, sir. And I'll go back to my table.
As you head back to the table, you're into... Hood up. Very quietly. I appreciate what you said. I wonder... Quietly back.
What do they look like, James?
They don't.
Oh, they
I
don't.
tapped
The hood
the
is
lamp.
so pulled forward you can't see a single sign of them. But you do hear that very typical serpentish.
Hmm.
So I
Maybe
would
tap to
naturally
the
just pass on this information to the rest of the party and allow them to decide. Because that's what Natasha does.
And he will wait until the end of your meal, of course, which you were probably a good way through anyway. When he's so interrupted.
And Natasha will know that the barrier around us is for sound, so he could just come to the table Like we wouldn't have to go
Yeah.
to speak.
Do you want to
privately.
do that? Bring him in to us.
Yeah, I'll naturally
Firstly
pass
to
on this
play-
information, and if he and everyone else is comfortable.
Yeah, he will sort of come in and he'll nod and a bow and greetings. I understand there's some magic at work. Really would prefer private. I'll wait outside. I couldn't help but hear their words.
Oh. I think that sounds fair, friend. What do you say? And I'll turn to the party.
I'll just stand up from the table and tap my staff on the ground a couple of times, and the sound barrier will go down.
We head outside. Do you want to do anything before we left, Henrik?
If I can, actually.
Yeah.
So I don't remember whether in this particular tavern I'm allowed to make music or not, but I'm going to start doing so whether anybody stops me or not. Step outside the field as necessary, or if it has come down as everyone's getting ready to go, and pull out the old choose harp here a little bit, and just sort of now to my companions. Now this is a lot of this is something I thought of back when we were our first journey here to Harbonden. It's good to remember our past like that, but a few little bits have occurred to me just in the last couple of moments that I think might need to be said. All about, well, learning some things you might not have thought were the case before. And hopefully getting some attention as I do that would then begin to sing, although I shan't sing. Harbonden holds the dreams of some, for others merely shops, but one by one they pound the streets, all making many stops. A humble stone mills wheat for bread, or shines upon a wrist, though outskirts beckon, inside town was truth I might have missed. Not all guild folk have gilded minds, a lesson learned, I suppose, and if I sell them short, it's me who's looking down my nose. I hate to find a bard's strong words are driven just by gold. They may have power to cause real harm with biases of old. Like anything, the city's naught but what you make of it. Like humble shacks that prove to hold all sorts of crazy shit. And with that last line, I will head out in the direction of Furlock's Shack.
As you make this verse, the bard actually begins a little bit of applause to the end of your song. However, two large fellas get up from their seats and pursue you outside very quickly. And they will accost you. Fast as
Can
they
I help you,
can.
gentlemen?
I don't believe you have a license to be performing. Tavern.
Well, I don't know that I would call that performing. I didn't take any coin. I just thought I might impart some wisdom.
Very well.
Torn will come behind Henrik at that point. And
Oh yeah, Natasha's there as well.
assuming that he's much taller than these large fellas. Be like, that was a lesson indeed, chaps.
And I will stand alongside Torin as well. I know I'm not the biggest, bulkiest thing, but, you know, another tall cat. Let's just add to
They
the,
nod
segment.
and very well. Point was taken. I be careful stirring word that supports the Uranti. Tales of the horrific deeds they've are horrible.
Prudence is one thing, and your caution is taken, but or your words are taken, but this may not be the greatest time for being careful in many ways. We'll do as we feel we must.
Indeed, but feelings against them are.
Such is perhaps the problem.
And with that, they will nod, and at this point, you hear the serpent voice, and he leads you round the back of the Silver Knight Tavern. Towards Furlock's Shack, in fact. There is a large tree. True, you know. Saying. Appreciate what you said. But I've witnessed it myself. My own folk Send envoy. Various different body pieces. Poisoned the wells. Families were at peace. Okay. Launch. Camps. Something's happened at the... Trust myself. Traitor. With this, he pulls his hood back. See a huge scar, open gash down the side of his face. He appears to have bits of his jaw, skin hanging down from his jaw. And you can see that he's been truly badly beaten. Problem is the city don't want me. The living is here. He ran out of my shop.
Well, I think it certainly just speaks for the fact that there are folk of all sorts on all sides, if that's even the right word for it.
My people are not like this. We have a code of honor. Being broken in every way at the border. Something wrong. Did you speak kindly of my people because you met some?
Hi,
Indeed.
we have. Do you know of Yalasar?
One of the fairest speakers of our kind. Where is he?
Yeah, we met him at the border, close to Eladar, in the mountains.
I'm sorry, I must take my leave. Thank you.
I believe your people were sheltering with the dwarves. It might be where some of them have gone, if that's helpful to you at all.
I'll head to the mountains. My wife will be so relieved. With that, he will run off on his wife that there are people not act like within his. And with that, would we like to head to the orangutan?
Yeah.
Knock, knock, knock.
Oh, Master Belmont, you again. Might I help?
Yeah, if you could.
Indeed. What can I do for you? How can I be of service?
It's just that we need, with the war going on, prices for inns have gone up, and
Oh, quite. I should have offered. I'm so sorry. Would you like a meal? And I might make space for you all. I will need some time to set up the beds.
oh, we've already eaten, so that's fine. You don't need to.
Torn will sort of hush Sebastian. Nonsense, Sebastian. A hearty meal is in order, I believe. The food here,
Yes.
the food here is most
indeed.
excellent.
Well, without Master Furlock, there'll be no clever tricks, but it should still taste as good. He nods, and he nods again, and then he bows twice, and then he gestures for you all to come in. And immediately, you see this sort of strange little orangutan, only 2 foot tall, appear with a bottle in his hands, and he holds it up to what appears to be his father, maybe? And the butler sort of bows again and turns and starts pouring you out drinks. And please make yourself at home. Be comfortable. And he will gesture towards a room that you've never seen before that was behind a strange part of a bookshelf. And as he opens it, there is this sort of living area with large recliner sofas. Make yourselves at home as we head. Hi guys, welcome back a little sooner than expected. Welcome back a little sooner than expected. Unfortunately, we are going to end the episode as I'm not feeling very well. But I thought we'd still have a little moment to call out a few things. First of all, just by structure, I needed to give out something today. As you guys are a little behind curve, so please take an attribute point and place it where you need. I would ask, if possible, that you don't place it in main stat if your main stat is at 18 or above. So
Gotcha, because I was about to do
wisdom,
that.
dex, etc. If you are at 18 or higher, please put it elsewhere. If not, by all means, you didn't use stat. Find a wonderful role-playing reason to put it in whatever you do. Yeah, I'll hand over to Nico of some sort.
I mean, I think it goes without saying, MVP goes to James for soldiering through an hour and a half of this.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
It's a very optimistic way of looking at it. I think we managed 50 minutes, but thanks. Joe?
Well, I mean, I gotta give a joke MVP to Jamal clicking something. I don't know what you're clicking with your mouse that much, Jamal, but I understand not muting. But if you're not gonna be muted, what the fuck are you clicking that much?
Were you hearing my mouse
click with the mouse. It's like, what
Really?
game or
You can
something are you
fucking-
doing?
You can hear that?
Yeah.
Oh my word. I'm
He's
so sorry,
probably
I didn't
playing
know.
Cookie Clicker.
I'm so sorry, I honestly didn't know. I thought you could only hear the keyboard. I didn't
I
realize
thought it was
fucking bus
Bruno.
was coming through.
I think it was Jamal, and I was deliberately not
I
saying
like-
anything so that I could mention it as an MVP because I'm a dick.
Oh.
Don't make me laugh.
Wow.
Yes, Josh?
I'm gonna give it to Modern Kind's Private Sanctum for giving us that little bubble so we didn't have to listen to that fucking offensive fucking
Yeah.
bard. Yeah.
What a dickhead.
Yeah. I was tempted because it doesn't actually specify that it needs to be anywhere near the caster. I was very tempted to just put it around the bard. But
I think that I think you have to walk around the area, but even so, I think that would have been hilarious. I probably would have made that. Bruno?
Again, my MVP goes to you, as someone who's been running D&D like non-stop for the last 6 years. I know how hard it is to actually, as a DM, be like, I don't want to run tonight, because you always feel like you're disappointing everyone. You know, just take it easy. We'd much rather have you rested and give us a kick-ass session next week, which we know you will, than have to struggle today. So yeah, much love, and MVP goes to everyone as well. Thanks for being here, guys.
It is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Real MVP, by the way, not just joke mean one, goes to the fact that we did only play for a little bit, and it still felt like cool world stuff was happening.
It did,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
that's also really true. So I'm gonna have to say the response of everyone to the UNC racism. I vibe with that. That's the response that people had to that. I wish I had something to throw hands. It would have been suggestion, but confrontation is not the Kiavo thing.
No, it isn't.
Otherwise, I would have certainly been like along the lines of, well, yeah, for the ones that are doing the wrong, yeah, you get what you give. But really, you're gonna just like full on fucking throw everyone under the bus over what could be even just one rogue band of like, you know, the 0.01% as such. You really gonna do that? You really?
We'll see.
Nah. Oh, what
See
the
if it's
fuck,
that
man?
0.1%.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the fuck's going on with this gulf, this rift between the representative that we've seen and the apparent stories. That's one thing that's going to be my MVP for this as well. The fact that we are interested in seeing where this shit goes, what's going on with this, because yeah, there's shit happening which doesn't seem right, and
indeed.
there's going to be an explanation and an answer for it. So,
And you may not see it for months.
fuck.
Joe, I have a question more than anything. The line about
Yes.
the bard.
Yeah.
Was that something you added into a previously made song? Was that something you?
Yeah. So the short bit that was idea. It was I'd been wanting to do this one. I wrote it when we left Harbonden the first time, and it just never came up there. So then I was like, I wanted to use it today as we were returning to Harbonden, and then I was like, no, I must say something about this.
It was perfect, literally.
You managed
like,
it so quickly. Yeah, I was really. That is my.
I was
MVP.
like, did he just fucking make that up?
Yeah, I
Holy
know, right?
shit.
It's like almost
Yeah.
improv. It was brilliant. Really
It
enjoyed
was
it.
amazing. Yeah.
I was racing a little bit, and then they're like, and then you leave the thing, and it's like, I did finish, but let us go back inside there for 1 second.
Yeah, I could see it. It's that look. Oh, I had something. It was good. We've got to go.
Excellent,
so, yeah.
Spotted. Thank you.
Right. And
That was really fucking well done as well. I will say that. That's incredible.
Next week we will return to the morning after. Although actually no, I think we'll resume exactly where we left off so that we can spend the evening in Furlock's having a discussion about what's happened.
Yes.
I
think that's
what the hell is on your head, Josh? Little.
I've been wearing a bandana this whole time.
No. The silver image. That has not been there all session, has it?
It looks like I don't even know what the fuck it is. Actually.
I think you've been stood. I think you've had your head in front of that. It looks like
it looks like a coffee cup or something. Oh no, it's like
yeah, you were like that.
pot?
I hadn't noticed it had a little face. When you move your head out the way, look, it's got a little face.
It's a Discord emoji.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, we should call it there. That's a strange note. I can tell my mind's a tad disjointed.
No, it's understandable, man.
I don't think we're going to see anybody. So, if you guys would like to say goodbye,
Catch you next
Bye.
episode.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.
See you soon.